Whenever you read about miracles in the Holy Bible, the scriptures, from the very beginning of creation to the ministry of Yeshua, remember one thing. It is never about the miracle. It is always about trusting in the one who did the miracle. It was written in Joshua when the Lord split the Jordan River and all Israel crossed into the promised land on dry ground. Very similar to the splitting of the Red Sea. He did it again now to their children as they entered into the land. And I am sure as they were walking and crossing, they all looked to the right to see the water just standing there, and they all were losing their mind. I mean, it's practical, right? You see such a magnificent thing, you go, whoa, look at that, the water's just standing there. They're not moving. Whoa, that's crazy. Right? I mean, that's only the natural reaction when you see something so incredible like that. The water just stopped flowing, like whoosh, the Lord cut him off. The rest of the water continued flowing down to the Dead Sea, Yam HaMelach, and the Jordan stopped flowing so that the entire camp of the Israelites, 2 million or so, could cross on dry ground. How amazing. And yet it wasn't even about the miracle, that they should boast about the miracle. It's always been about trusting in the one who did all the miracle. Fast forward to Yeshua from Yehoshua, Yeshua the Mashiach, Yehoshua the man of God, servant of Moshe. Yeshua did all these wonderful miracles, healing the sick, opening the eyes of the blind, the ears of the deaf, the tongues of the mute, resurrecting the dead, Lazarus and the little girl. All of these miracles, what was the point? For as we've said before, all of these people eventually died, including those who were resurrected. I mean, Lazarus died, the little girl died. So what was the point? The point was that you would trust in the one who does the miracles. He is the one with authority. He is the Lord of creation. He is the God of our salvation. He is Lord. And that's always the point. The 10 plagues of Egypt, the Red Sea, the Amalekites, bread from heaven, water from the rock, countless miracles that the Lord had done so that we will trust in Him, because He's always got another miracle. The whole creation is a miracle. And if you trust in Him, you will never be put to shame, because right after they crossed that river, they were told to do something crazy, the people of Israel, that would not make sense to any of you. And you probably would not do what they did. But by this point, gotta give credit when credit is due, the people of Israel actually did obey. You know, the book of Joshua is probably the best time in the history of Israel as far as obedience and righteousness goes. Under the leadership of Yehoshua, after coming out of the desert and into the promised land, they actually did what was right. They trusted in God. What do you know? And so they were commanded to march around the walls of Jericho 7 days. For the first 6 days, once. The 7th day, 7 times. And then, after 7 times, all the priests would blow the shofars and all the people cheer and the walls would fall down. But here's the catch. Joshua, Yehoshua told them, don't say a word. Be silent until I tell you to shout. And that was the test. Because it doesn't make sense. It's like, wait, what? We gotta march around this wall every day for 6 days, and then the 7th day we gotta walk 7 days? Why? What's the point? And if people started opening their mouth, you know, they would have started speaking doubt. Like, hey man, we've been doing it for 6 days now. What's going on with that? Is he losing his mind? Does he know what he's doing? That's what the people in Egypt did. They started murmuring against Moshe. And so Yehoshua told them to be silent. And they had to obey, and they did. because they already trusted. They are the children who grew up in the desert. They had enough faith in the Lord. So they actually obeyed and they were blessed. On the seventh day, they marched 7 times. The 7 priests blew the 7 shofars. The people cheered and the walls came down and they took over that city, destroyed everything in it, except for Rahab, the prostitute, and her household. Amazing what the Lord can do when we trust and obey. Doesn't need to make sense. It rarely does, if ever. That's the whole point. If it makes sense, why would you need any trust? It's like, oh, well, yeah, it makes sense. I have pain, I take Tylenol. Well, it makes sense. What doesn't make sense is when the Lord tells you to do something that is completely contrary to the logic of man. Put my feet in the river and the river's gonna stop. Do this and smear blood of a lamb on the doorpost and the door frame, that's gonna save me from death? March around the city 7 days? That doesn't make sense. Well, not to you it doesn't. Remember, God made the heavens and the earth. He installed all of the systems of logic, physics and math. He put them there. And the whole point is for him to tell you, don't trust in what I have created. Trust in me. I'm greater than the created. See, the nations all trust in the heavenly array, the astrologers, the mystics and the fortune tellers and the palm readers and the psychics and the sorcerers. They all trust in the created. All the Kabbalistic rabbis, they all dive in deep to find written secrets within the code of creation and all that mess. It's all mysticism, it's all idolatry. The Lord told you, do not trust in any of these things. Cursed is the one who trusts in man. Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord. Nothing wrong with using these systems that I've made, summer, winter, fall and spring, right? The seasons come. If you need vitamin C, you take some immunity support, you eat some red bell peppers, some oranges, some kiwis, right? You need something for your stomach, you eat some white rice and ginger. Nothing wrong with those things, but don't you ever put your trust in them. The Lord can use an army, and he did, but he also can use 300 men to beat 30,000, and he did. Come to show you, it's not about the size of your army. You can have thousands or millions or one. It makes no difference. You can even have none. Just speak the word. Yeshua is going to come back and slay the beast with the word of his mouth. No, it doesn't need an army. Just speak the word and it's done. He could heal, he could resurrect, and he could kill, all with the word of his mouth, because he is Lord. He has the authority. He speaks into creation and creation obeys. And that is why you should always put your trust in him, the Lord of miracles, the God of creation. Doesn't matter how strong you think you are, how much money you've got. $1, $2, or no dollar. Makes no difference. God can do anything with nothing. He fed 5,000 with a few loaves of bread, and in the desert he fed 600,000 with quails that came out of nowhere. He can do anything and everything. So no matter the miracle, don't ever trust in the miracle, trust in the one who does the miracle. Because he's always got another miracle coming. So don't you get so caught up on what he did. Get caught up in the one who did it. Hallelujah.